Chuck Fresh with Computer Care Clinic. This is Computer Care Clinic's tip of the day. We get a bunch of questions about cutting the cord. Now, what does that mean, cutting the cord? You may have heard it in your news station or in a magazine that you read or a newspaper, if you still read newspapers. But cutting the cord means that basically you don't need to have cable TV, a satellite service, or even a home phone anymore. You still need some sort of cords for your high-speed internet because you really can't cut the cord without high-speed internet unless you've gone all cellular, which kind of gets expensive. The caps on data on cell phones are still priced pretty high. Hopefully they'll come down in the near future and you will be able to be completely wireless, but that's not the case just yet. Also, cable companies are starting to put caps on internet service where they used to be unlimited, and they're no longer unlimited, and they're starting to phase that in. But they're very reasonable caps. It's a lot of streaming information, a lot of TV shows and all that stuff, and that's what we're talking about here, cutting the cord. Now, we have not had cable TV service in our home in about 12 years. That's right. We don't watch a lot of TV to begin with, but if you are hooked on your favorite TV show, it's not the end of the world. You absolutely do not need cable anymore, and here's why. You have services like Netflix, which are now huge. You can watch just about and virtually unlimited episodes all the way back to the beginning of time of your favorite TV shows. Some of them, a large majority of them, are on Netflix, including some Netflix original series, which have won a bunch of awards, like House of Cards or Orange is the New Black. You can watch Cosmos, there's Parenthood, Gilmore Girls, Breaking Bad. There's a ton of wonderful TV. I think even The Sopranos and Grey Anatomy is on this thing, too. Now, the thing about Netflix is you may not be able to get the latest season because they tend to delay a little bit before they go to Netflix, but that's not necessarily a problem, too, and not a reason to hold back in cutting the cord because there are services like Amazon Prime, which you can get right now immediately some of the latest versions of television shows by buying them. Yes, you'd have to buy them. Some seasons, well, the shows are about as low as like $1, but typically it depends where you buy them from too. Somewhere between $1 and $4 a show for the full HD version. And the best part is there are no commercials when you buy them like this. You stream them over the internet or on a smart TV or on your cell phone or your iPad, or you can even connect a lot of these devices, even wirelessly, to your big screen TV. So it's just like you're watching the show, but you don't have to wait for like Friday at 8 o'clock for your favorite show to come on because you can watch it whenever you want. You can pause it whenever you want, just like kind of like having a DV recorder, a digital recorder that your cable company now charges you for, another thing they charge you for. And it's not uncommon to see some of these cable bills go up to $200 a month. I mean, I know somebody personally in my neighborhood is paying about $200 a month for all these smart TV boxes and all these digital recorders and the phone service and Lord knows what else they're doing over there. But that's ridiculous. You can do it a lot cheaper if you just do the basic internet package from your local internet service provider. And you can go as little as, I think the cheapest one I've seen now that's reasonable is about $45 a month for about 30 megabit down service, which is really, really a lot cheaper than paying all this craziness for the cable service for your TV that you may or may not watch. You might not be home. You might not be available. The thing about streaming is you can watch these TV shows, again, commercial-free whenever you want, and you can watch them over and over again. You can share them with all your family members. It's wonderful. Amazon Prime is a big one that we use. There's also Vudu, which is owned by Walmart, and, of course, there's iTunes and Google Play, too. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, you can do iTunes, and they have most of the first-run shows about a day after they come on TV. So you will have to wait a day if you want to. You may be behind the curveball if you have one of those coffee room meetings at work and you're talking about your favorite show. You may not be able to do that immediately. However, HBO now offers something called HBO Now, which is phenomenal. And this actually, you can stream these shows immediately. It's like having HBO, except it's streaming HBO. And now you don't need a cable subscription to get HBO. It's $15 a month. They give you a free trial for 30 days, and it's like having a digital streaming HBO. You can watch your crazy show. What do they call that crazy? I don't know, but yeah, about dragons and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. All these HBO shows are all there, available immediate. Game of Thrones, that's what it's called. You can watch that immediately. There's some great programming and a lot of movies and documentaries on HBO, too, now available through HBONow.com for $15 a month. Still cheaper than getting it a full cable subscription and a bunch of channels that you really don't want. The reason they charge so much is sports outlets like ESPN charge the cable provider $7, $8 a month, and they have to pass that on to you and make a profit on it to stay in business. Well, a lot of people don't watch these sports things. So if you don't watch sports, if you're not a big sports person, then there's really no need for you to have a cable TV service. If you do watch sports, you can always go to a Buffalo Wild Wings where they have 1,000 TVs and every sports event you could ever imagine on their TVs, and buy a beer or two for $3 for a happy hour special. It's still a lot cheaper than watching all. If you want to watch every game too, there's ways to stream those too through a lot of through Yahoo. I think it's doing a lot of sports stuff, and also ESPN maybe doing some streaming too. But we're not really big sports people. But if you're a sports person, you might not be able to do that as easily as somebody who's not big on sports. As far as news, every news outlet you could possibly imagine is available. Most of them are free. There are something called paywalls in a lot of them, like the New York Times. You have to pay for a subscription. In Florida Today, which is a ridiculously childish newspaper, you have to pay to see that too. So don't even bother with those. But you can go to Yahoo, MSN, AOL. Washington Post, I believe, is still free. A lot of these, and you could, even Yahoo News, which a lot of our customers like. You can get world news, you can get politics, in-depth stories. You can go to ABC's website or NBC's. Most of the network providers are available online and free. You have to watch commercials for this, but you can still get up to the second news without having to wait for the 5 o'clock newscast. A lot of people have told us that they get their news through Facebook or Twitter now, just through their news feed, and you can customize that feed. It's a little bit more customizable than it used to be, and a lot of people will just scroll through their Facebook feed to see what their family or friends are up to, and then also see the top news stories, which appear almost instantaneously. So really, you don't need your cable provider for news anymore. And a lot of people, including us, we have installed an antenna. That's right, an old TV, an HD antenna. I've mounted it in just the right place in my attic. We're about 45 miles away from most of the broadcast towers, but that's not a big deal. We can get ABC, CBS, and NBC. The only one we can't seem to get in that particular position is Fox, but I could get a bigger antenna, but we don't watch too much Fox, and anything we would watch on Fox, you could probably get streaming anyway. So, cutting the cord for your TV and news, probably a good idea, save you a whole bunch of money. Now, the other reason people cut cords is to save on their telephone bill. If you have a POTS, it's called a plain old telephone service, like one of those old telephone lines that still plugs into your house. It's really unnecessary. And the reason a lot of people don't cut that service is because they're afraid of losing their phone number that they may have had for 10, 15, 20, 50 years. But now, through the FCC, you can port that telephone number. It's something called PORT, P-O-R-T. You can port your home telephone number to a voice over IP service like a Magic Jack, which a lot of people have done, and you can also port it over to your cell phone. Most people have cell phones anyway. Why not just move your home number over to that cell phone, and people can reach you anywhere in the world? Take that phone with you. Take it in your car for emergencies. Take it to your friend's house when you go out to dinner. You see all these people on their phones all the time, and it's because they've been able to port their home number and never miss a call. Also, they have very, very good voicemail systems on most cell phones, and you can port your number due to new rules at the FCC. You can take that number with you forever, so you don't have to change it. As long as you're staying in the same area, I believe that's the only limitation. So no real reason to stay tethered to a cable. Cut that cord. Save yourself up to a couple $100 a month in these ridiculous cable bills. Now, again, they're going to start throttling speed and the amount of data that you get at home, and they will start charging for that. But still, for the foreseeable future, it's 2016 now. You're still going to end up a lot better off if you cut the cord. You're going to save a whole bunch of money. Bank it, and then if things get crazy with data caps, you can always go backwards later. Hopefully, they will have a la carte service where you'll be able to pick just the channels on your cable provider that you want. So you don't have to pay for ESPN or Lifetime or the channels that you never watch. You should be able just to pick the ones that you want, or it'll go streaming and wireless too. But hard to predict at this point because there's just so few companies and they keep merging and putting things together. It's unfortunately becoming monopolistic, which is a scary state of affairs. So hopefully the next administration will put some limits on that so they can't screw you at the end of the month when they send you that bill. Any questions, comments, please leave them below. Please like and subscribe. That helps keep us online, and we do more informative videos with the more subscribers and the more likes we get. But thanks for watching. My name's Chuck Fresh with Computer Care Clinic, and we'll see you next video.